Good morning. It's 9 o'clock, July the 10th, 2023, and our regular Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our county clerk, Mary Jane Real. Mary Jane, good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Judge Ratno.
Present.
Commissioner Mendoza. Commissioner Morales.
Present.
Commissioner Solis.
Present.
And Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Dr. Roger Miller, Commissioners Court Chaplain. Dr. Miller, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Bow your heads with me this morning as we begin prayer. Our Father, Creator of all, we come together first thanking you for the opportunity to see the blessings which you provide. So help us this day to see the world that you have created through new eyes of anticipation, expectation, and thankfulness. Help us this day to focus on you as the provider for all of our needs. And so today, Father, we come again asking and seeking your grace and your strength for the decisions before this court. May we know without question that you are here among us to provide our judge, our commissioners, and our court members with all that they need to accomplish the task before them. May they be assured of your desire to provide for their every need in this time. So, Father, we ask that you would expand their understanding of the issues, deepen their compassion for the people they serve, and increase their confidence in their decisions as our leaders ask of you for their needs today. Father, prepare them to see this day the matters before them as an opportunity to experience your presence. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4, Commissioners, is communications. Anything going on in the last few weeks?
Judge, I would like to advise the public, Bravo Park, is in the works. The water plant, the director, Ralph, is here. They were able to find about 3 leaks. Is that correct, Ralph? Would you want to explain?
2 leaks.
You want to step up and explain? They were able to find several leaks, which has finally stopped the flooding at the park. So the guys are there right now. The crew is there, taking care of the overgrown cattail that grew onto the park. We had to wait a couple of weeks for it to dry up, but go ahead, Mr. Rogers.
Judge.
Morning.
Morning, Brown.
Commissioners. Yeah, so we found it was a 3/4-inch leak that was tied to a water meter right next to the library. So we don't know how long that had been leaking. We're gonna estimate maybe about a year. Of course, that one was about 6 feet underground, so where the elevation was, it was making its way towards the park. And then about 3 feet under there, there was a 10-inch line that had a leak also. So that was about 8 feet underground. So of course,
Yeah, it's a difficult area there.
and so it was making its way towards the park, but along
A lot of our infrastructure leaves from that area, from our water plant, so we've got some big lines. So that water meter supplied water to the library or to the park?
Yes, sir.
So you were able to shift that meter somewhere else, or?
Actually, it's still there. We're gonna put some type of like a structure just around it just to protect it.
Okay.
But
So I guess had it been red all these years, or was it the signal leak? I mean, if it was pretty deep.
it was an old one, so I guess it was tied to the irrigation. So
Maybe.
I'm not sure, but it was before the leak also. So I mean, it was before the meter. So it wasn't registering through the meter. It was before, so it was about.
Oh, so
6
the
feet
water
up.
usage was still being registered?
Yeah,
Meters,
yeah.
Okay.
So, but like I said, those two were taken care of, and then the majority of the mess was coming from just the discharge coming from the water plant. I guess we do have beavers in the area. I know that they do wreak havoc to the
Yeah,
golf
with the
course.
golf course, sure.
So they were
to
doing
build
their
dams,
they were
yes.
doing their little deal there, and so but everything's being cleaned up. The water's being diverted now to there's a pond over there
Behind the pond.
Yeah.
It's headed straight towards the golf course right now, so we can dry up that pond and take
So,
care of the cattail.
the area there is dry. I walked it on Friday, I believe, and I was gonna text you, but yeah, everything is pretty dry now. So
Yeah, I know, almost maybe longer than 20 years since we last dredged that pond, so that's certainly still. You still use that pond to clean your filters, is that
Yeah,
correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think moving forward, once we need a permanent solution to be able to be, I guess, removing the sludge that builds up a structure that we can get in there with a tractor or a skid steer. So we'll be looking at that, but On the dredging, I think that the county will be moving forward in dredging, and hoping to have some equipment to help us with that, and,
I know the water's being diverted right now, so, it should be drying up where we'll be able to go in there and clean it easier, so.
yeah.
The crew is currently there, but they're gonna take care of the outside, whatever we can with the backhoe. Give it a couple of more weeks, let it dry out, and then, we'll go inside the pond and take care of it as much as we can.
And once we're done, we could redirect the water back.
Into the pond, yes.
Correct.
So, yeah, it's just.
I wanna appreciate you guys for your hard work in finding those leaks, because we did have water, spilling onto the walkways and, the track
Yeah,
area,
back
so
and forth, yes.
it got a little out of control, but, we were able to find it, take care of it, so thank you and your guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, Joe.
All right,
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other communication, 4th of July, how'd that go? I spoke with, our fire chief, I think we had 10 grass fires mainly, so it was a danger sign. If the sheriff is here, maybe he can attest to that.
We worked together. There was a few by the bridge, and then there was some over here by the county shop, but.
No structures,
No, sir.
yeah.
Everything was maintained good.
So we might, of course, we had a good May, as far as rainfall wise, so we had some growth in our grasses around town, and then it got really dry in June, so we may have to look at that in the future, say, is it a good thing to have a sale of fireworks, from year to year, so, yeah, we might have to look at that next year and see. We certainly don't wanna endanger the public with unnecessary grass fires. We may not be able to sell them.
I believe I saw Stark County that they issued an ordinance, they couldn't pop fireworks this year due to the drought and to
yes.
the winds, so.
We have that ability, we just, this year, we're
Right,
taking
because we
action.
had that rain prior
Yeah.
to this month.
So, but, yeah, we'll have to look at that in the coming years and see exactly what the conditions are. A month before,
Dry.
I can tell you it's gonna be dry, it might be closer, that's true, but overall, no major events happened, so, and Karen, I think, your group put on the fireworks display once again, thank you.
Thank you,
So,
Karen.
And we had a little,
a little fire.
yeah, it wasn't quite as big, so when we get the report, we're probably gonna be in it.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Any other communications?
Well, as far as the playground in Siesta Shores, equipment should finally be, finished, completed today, on Tuesday. So this week should be the last week of, the workers out there, so we'll be posting some pictures. We'll be getting a plaque for the donors, of Hillcorp, so just expect that, and I wanna thank the sheriff's office also for putting up the camera there. It's deterred, a lot of, vandalism, so we've been doing good so far. So I wanna thank you guys, for, installing it and acting quick on that.
No problem, Commissioner. Thank you.
Any other communications, Commissioner? Now we'll move on to public comment. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioner's Court on any item on the agenda. Any member of the public need to address the court. And now we'll move on to item number 6, approval of invoices. In your package, Commissioners, we had invoices from June 16, 2023 through July 6, 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve a total of, $553, $549 with 43 cents.
Okay. Well, so the total is 1 million?
No, 553, 549 and 42 cents.
Yes, 553.
549 and 40 cents.
Okay. All right, 553,549. But that just,
The other one on the invoices, on the checks, it shows,
553.
553?
yes.
Okay.
But there's another amount which is from line item
Well, that's
390.
fine, it's $553,549.43.
Yes.
I got a motion and a second. I did, wanna, and I spoke with, our auditor on last week regarding, road and bridge funds and how those funds are supposed to be used and whether, we can, use them for other, expenditures other than roads and bridges, and we can't. So there's some expenditures here that I see that are mainly, you would consider parks expenditures, Commissioners, that if you don't have the money in park, you can't use Road and Bridge to purchase.
Which I'll have to reverse, yeah, I'll have to reverse.
We have to reimburse that fund, so it's very limited as to how we can use those funds. And so certainly we couldn't use it for a soccer field or make improvements, for a nutrition center. I see, Pee Wee Fields here, and it seems to be coming from road construction, which it should be either your park budget. If you don't have your park budget and you consider it an emergency, we'll bring it to court and the court can act on it, but you can't shift monies around. And I think I told, our auditor that you need to mention that to the commissioners and not allow those expenditures. I think we purchased, I think precinct 1 purchased 30 oak trees, and those were, planted in a park, and they were coming out from Road and Bridge. We can't do that. So that fund will have to be reimbursed. And I'm glad those trees are finally getting planted. They were there a long time in the sun. Hopefully we can save most of them, but we need to make sure that those funds are not intertwined, intermingled. Certainly, you can use parks to buy Road and Bridge stuff, but Road and Bridge is just Road and Bridge. I just want to bring that up.
And I'll look into, what they can spend it on and give it to the commissioners,
Okay.
commissioners.
All right, so I got a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Judge,
we don't have a
we don't
second.
have a second yet.
I thought Mr. Morales.
Okay, sorry.
Commissioner Morales, yes, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. So we'll move on to treasurer's report. Ms. Salinas provided us with his treasurer's report for the month of June. And the beginning, page 1, is our deposits, our investments. So for the month of June, we have a total of $11,680,183.71 in investing, CDs, and otherwise. Interest for the month was $29,634, and year-to-date interest is $138,807. Page 2 continued with depository accounts, fiduciary demand accounts. We had a beginning balance of $2,089,770.55. We had revenues of $2,577,028.34. Expenses of $2,521,619.25 for an ending balance of $2,145,179.64. Which is good news. We're 3 months away from the end of the year, and we still have money in those accounts. So, Commissioner, we're doing rather well. Continuing with the other demand accounts, we beginning balance of $1,468,749.39. We have revenues of $711,838.67. Expenses of $429,194.88. For an ending balance of $1,751,393.18. Moving on to our energy use, electricity for the month to Caballo Energy was $77,934.29. And our water bill for the month was $6,571.12. Royalty for the month are our royalty interest from wells around town, which have dropped substantially since the beginning of the fiscal year. We're down for June to $3,071.28 of royalties that came in. Rents from our centers, community centers, we had Sunny National Civic Center brought in $375, the Pavilion $350, Community Center brought in $1,800, Swimming Pool $300, and the Sunny National Swimming Pool $129. And the totals for the year, the Sunny National Civic Center $3,475, the Pavilion has brought in $6,360, the Community Center, Zapata Community Center brought in $20,700. The swimming pool $600, and the St. Ignacio swimming pool $129 so far this year. Moving on to our county clerks and district clerks revenues for the year. For the month of June, county clerk fund 10, $6,358.25. For the year, $104,665.58, which is 174.44% of normal or a budgeted amount. So. Good work.
Yes, we're doing good.
Got a lot of activity. Fund 15, for the month of June, $324. For the year, $12,964.10, which is 118.13 of budgeted amount. District Court Fund 10, for the month, $3,558. For the year, $99,540.10, which is 117% of budgeted amount. District Clerk Fund 15, for the month, $1,380.55. For the year, $10,749.05, which is 111.70% of budgeted. Our arm ordinance of Maquinitas, the sign-up period was July 1st so for the month of June, 922,000 in permitting fees came in. For the year, we're at $1,201,500, which is 100% of budgeted amount, 100.13%. Our sales tax, for the month of June, $150,135.71 came in, a little lower than the previous month. For the year, we're at $1,947,043.93, which is 92.72% of the $2.1 million that we budgeted in expected revenues. Our landfill, for the month of June was $20,000. For the year, we're at $213,294. We're at 71%, with 3 months to go. Our jail, we had budgeted $2.4 million in expected revenues. For the month of June, $433,319.36 came in. So we're at $2,099,365.44 for the year, which is 87.47% of budgeted revenues. And Judge, Commissioner, Sheriff, I'll get it right eventually. That's pretty good. We're doing good with your jails.
Yes, right now the inmate phone systems, also, there's a couple of revenues that need to come in with that and some of the fees. But we're looking into revamping the phone system.
Yes.
Which will give us a percentage where we can.
Well, you certainly exceed, I believe, your budgeted amounts for the year, so that's good news.
Thank you.
We'll move on to jail telephone. For the month, it was $5,500.98. For the year, it was $34,442.17, which is 76.54% of budgeted revenues. The jail bonds fee, $1,391 for the month. For the year, $4,211. Jail office fees, nothing came in. Our EMS for the month of June brought in $30,279.23. For the year, we're at $564,722.11 with 3 months to go. So we're at 94.12% of expected revenue. So there's a little more there too. Our JP's revenues for 1, 2, 3, and 4 for JP Precinct 1. Month of June brought in $4,727.86. For the year, they're at $70,578.46. And Commissioner, I believe I don't have a picture, but we're about halfway. So, for a few years, we were really doing good with the delinquents, the outstanding delinquent fines, but I think we've recouped most of what we were gonna recoup.
Most have been collected, yeah.
Yes, so, and JP Precinct 2 for the month of June is $4,222.38. And for the year, they're at $85,126.88. JP Precinct 3, $2,895.50 for the month. And for the year, they're at $20,181.49. And JP Precinct 4 for the month of June, $1,710.18. And for the year, they're at $36,321.72. Motion to approve Treasury report is presented by Commissioner Solis. Seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 8 is approval of checks issued. And we have checks from June 16, 2023 through July 6, 2023 for a total of $553,549.43.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 9 is tax assessor collectors departmental report.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Okay, for the month of June, okay, collections. Excuse me. General fund, we had a total of $132,915 in excess. Interest and sinking, we had $57,230.97. Farm to market,
$8.53. Special road and bridge, $14,777.37. Overpayments, $1.81. Delinquent tax attorneys was $10,192.03 for a total collection of $215,125.79. Then other fees and collections, we have tax certificates, $16, hotel motel tax, $8,588.78. Interest earnings, $19,142. Did I say it correctly?
$19.42.
$19.42.
Okay, if you zeros off.
Yeah, I think I got it.
We want them there. We want them at 19,000.
Okay, so then we had a total collection of $223,749.99. Check will be sent out today to the treasurers for $213,557.96. Year-to-date collection, compared to last year, 89.70% for 2021. 2022 is 88.51, so we're a little bit below,
Yeah.
but I feel that we're really making up for it in the delinquents.
Yes, and
Collections.
of course, that program has really helped.
It's really come down a lot, we're over $1 million from last year in April to the end of June.
Yeah, so that's gonna really help,
Yes, it's gone up quite a bit, so.
yeah, 'cause I think we have budgeted as far as collecting delinquents of 350 for the year.
And we're way over, well, we're over quite a bit. So, the hotel motel tax, to date, we have collected $84,495.78.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, we are continuing to, they are allowing, if they helped you last year in the, Texas Homeowners Assistance Fund, they will go ahead and allow you to apply again. So if you're still delinquent on taxes, they will help you.
I think I was speaking with one of the attorneys from our delinquent tax section, Mark Martin,
Right.
and he said Zapata County done proportionately very well with our population, the amount of money we have collected, and so a lot of that goes to your staff and the additional part-time staffer that we
Yes.
brought in.
It was
So-
worth it.
So our collections are comparable to counties that are 4 times in population to us. So we did very well with the program. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll move on, Commissioner, to reports and presentation. Item number 10 is a presentation on Texas Highway project in Zapata County. I had met with our area engineer, Francisco Cantú. I might have mixed signals with him. I thought they would be here, and I didn't reach out to him last week. I thought it was a given that, they would be here. I don't see him here, but he had brought some, maybe we'll just table this, but in your packets, he wanted to give an update to the court and to the public of the upcoming projects that TxDOT had in plans for our county. I mean, as we've seen, and we traveled south, they're right at our county line, and so those projects will be moving forward into the county. But I think instead of me trying to interpret what they're doing, we'll just table it and we'll call him maybe for next meeting. Hopefully we can, maybe they come in, he can explain to us, but there's questions that we might have for him, so I'll have him come in on this presentation. So we'll just table item number 10.
I'll make a motion to table.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to table item 10, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion tabled. We'll move on to our action items. We'll deliberate and consider action item number 11 is to advertise the county shop administrative assistant position at the current salary of $10 an hour. Of course, our current assistant there, Ms. Thatcher, who had done a really good job for the court, and over a few years told me her health was deteriorating and she would have to be leaving the county, so that will be a vacant position. Speaking with our personnel director, we can hire immediately. There's no monies owed, no funds in that position. So we'll advertise and then see what applicants come in and then decide to.
Well, she definitely did a great job, and, you know, we wish her the best, you know, for her health, and, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion.
To go out for
To
request.
advertise the county shop position.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Morales. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 12 is to establish a memorandum of understanding between Zapata County Water Works, the Central Shore WCID, and Falcon Rural Supply to determine the feasibility of a water interconnection between the three systems. Commissioners, I put this item on the agenda. Of course, it's always been not a dream, but something that, we've been wanting to do to, you know, especially our residents there in the Posan area south of town, have difficult times with their water pressure during, many times during the year. And we have an inability to help them because they are served by Falcon Rural Water District from, Stark County, and they're mainly at the end of the line. So there has been talk about doing an interconnection between us, Sister Shores, and, because Sister Shores is the neighboring district, to Falcon Rural. So there's an interest in reviving that project. I see, Mr. Gonzalez here, who represents, does work for Sister Shores and,
Judge, and this will be for emergency purposes?
yes, initially, yes. Anytime water, it would have to be, I guess the specifics would have to be developed as far as, yes, Mr. Gonzalez, well, yeah, kind of brief us on what has been going on.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners.
Morning.
The project is to look into interconnecting Zapata County Water Works, Sister Shores, WCID, and Falcon Rural Water Supply Corporation, so that all three systems are interconnected as a regional water program. The thing would be to supply water like during emergencies, or in other cases, in the future, the county might want to consider. We had approached them years back about possibly seeing if we could acquire from the county line all of the customers that are within Zapata County, because when they have problems, they call Zapata County Commissioners, call the judge, and there's not our.
We're unable to help.
Yes, the district belongs to Falcon Rural Water. So if we could acquire the customers that are in that area, then they are our tax-paying customers based on their homes, but not the water system. So that's something that we looked at years back. They are upgrading their system, so we kind of figured, okay, let's wait and let them upgrade their system. And they did get a grant from USDA to upgrade their water lines or booster stations, so that infrastructure is being upgraded as we speak.
I think conversations we've had with Falcon Rural, informal conversations with them, they would like at some point for Zapata County to be able to serve their own residents. So, and I think it'd be something beneficial for us to be able to serve our own residents in the future. And so how do we get there? So this would be maybe the first step. Of course, I think the being able to help those residents that currently do have issues there on a daily basis with. What I would like to know is, I guess part of this study would be, do we have the water capacity, treatment capacity at our plant? Do we have the pressure available to make a difference to those residents? Yeah.
Well, as the judge mentioned, you know, it's kind of, you kind of feel helpless when you can't help out these residents, especially like the last freeze. I believe they were out of, they didn't have any water for about 10 days.
Yes.
You know, so
It was
so
about
this will
10
definitely
days.
help, you know, those residents.
They had catastrophic failures on their Chihuahua plant or their booster station, and one in Falcon, so then they were not able to push water down to the Posan area or any of the other customers. So basically from Chihuahua down, we have approximately about 85 to 100 customers that are in Zapata County from their district, and the majority of them, for exception of I think one, are 3/4 inch meter services. One of them is a 2-inch meter, and the interest would be so that we can all be interconnected. We would then be looking into if it's feasible in terms of, can we send water that way instead of, getting water in our direction. And if we get water, I guess I guess we would look at which way would be the easiest to get water provided, and then we would have an MOU very similar to what we have with Highway 16 Water District, where we provide water to them, And then we have a wholesale fee to where then they can charge their customers a retail fee, and then there's an ability to pay back that
So,
money.
so as far as the water plant, we would have, for 180 customers, we'd have.
For 100 customers, yeah, so we have, yeah, as far as the plant capacity, we have, right now, we're using about 3 million gallons a day, and we're able to produce up to 7 million gallons.
Just I'll make a motion to establish the MOU between Zapata County Water Works, Siesta Shores, and Falcon Rule.
So, in that, Counselor, what would be, good morning, Mr. Figueroa, the direction that, we would take? Would we, allow, hire our engineer, an engineer to do that for us, or do it
Yes,
for?
Judge, because he has to do that feasibility.
If it's even possible for us to do that, yeah.
That's right, so that would be the first step, Judge. Then after that, if all the different entities are in agreement with it, which I'd imagine they will be, then it's just a process of moving forward with the memorandum. But
So today, we would say we would begin the process of reaching out to the water districts?
correct, Judge.
Well, and if they're in agreement of wanting to do this, then we could bring another item in to say, okay, let's hire an engineer to see if it's even doable. So I guess the step today was, I really wanted the court to know that there's some conversations that are being had, and I want to make sure that we can move forward.
What's the distance from our pipelines to theirs?
What is the distance?
Yeah, to get connected to them.
It's,
About 10,000 feet, Commissioner.
yeah,
A little over
it's
10,000.
right.
So if we wait for them
close
to
the
repair
line.
their line, and then we'll say, okay, we'll cut it off over here in Falcon, and then we'll just connect there.
That's kind of, they've been, and informally, they say, we wish you would take care of that, and I said, well, your system is in such, disrepair, it'd be hard to undertake such a long infrastructure project like that. But with the widening of 83, they're getting a lot of that infrastructure installed new, so yes.
We'll just
that's
wait,
very- yeah.
we'll just wait until they, fix all that line, and then
Yeah,
just
the distance
interconnect.
between our district and their district is about 10,000 feet, about 2 miles. And so they go from the Posan, road, where it's Mesa Salinas Road, all the way to the county line. So it's
Maybe
about
Mesa
30,
Salinas,
about 30 miles.
Mesa
Yeah.
Salinas?
Mesa Salinas is the end of their system.
I think it's a win-win for everybody all around.
So we'll, maybe handle those talks, and we'll try to reach out to the water district, maybe, we can get together on when we have the board meetings, and I certainly would like to, do a formal presentation to them.
Sure.
If we can get into their board meetings and maybe even facilitate that for us.
Of course, I'll get, I have, I know the engineer that's working for their district on their current project. We've worked together in the past, and so I'll reach out to him. That's who I had informally reached out to in the past, and had provided me how many meters there were, and they were interested if the county was in passing those accounts over to the county, and I told them at the time,
Right.
I didn't think it would be a good deal, because they were upgrading their system. Once their system's upgraded, then yeah, it's a big possibility.
Okay, so
So
we'll move
what
forward.
would be the language?
Yeah, okay. One motion by Commissioner Solis, second by
My
Commissioner
motion
Garza.
stands, yeah, it'll be to, start the process for them,
Yeah. Motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item, number 13 is to pay an invoice in the amount of $1,045 to Zapata Quick Air for parts and labor for a 30-gallon water heater at the Los Evanos Golf Course. With our agreement there with, the maintenance of the building, part of the, I guess, the infrastructure in the building, we are responsible for those, type of, I guess, the fixtures. And the water, heater, did blow out, I guess, last week. I seen this, so the water heater was completely inoperable.
Yeah.
Inoperable.
Wasn't working.
It wasn't working, so
I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
motion by Commissioner Garza to approve
To approve the payment
payment.
of $1,045 to Zapata Quick Air.
Seconded by Commissioner Solis, and I guess this will come out of the golf course line item, which is, I know we're under, but to keep a track of how much expenditures we're making out of there. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14 is to award administration services for the fiscal year 2024 Operation Lone Star Grant Program. So we're of course participating in the 2023 Operation Lone Star, and I guess we're to the point where we need to apply for the 2024. Additional monies were approved from the state for Operation Lone Star, and certainly the county has benefited from this program through the sheriff's department, overtime, equipment, and trying to protect our borders and helping the state do that. So I think they approved it for an initial 2-year biennium, but this would be just on a 1-year basis?
Yes, this was gonna be for just 1 year, which is also confusion on, we're thinking it's for 2 years, but it's just for 1 year. It's gonna be 1 year.
1 year, it's like 1 year for the 2-year biennium.
So, exactly. So on one of these, with the Rodriguez Professional Business Solutions, he has come in with a proposal of $162,000, but in talking to him, he was under the impression it was 2 years also, so it's actually $81,000. So that changes the scoring. So evaluator 1 scored Corina Vargas 81, and Rodriguez would be 88. Evaluator 2 would be Corina Vargas 69, Rodriguez, it jumps up to 89, which was a 5-point difference. Evaluator 3, with Corina Vargas 81, Rodriguez jumps up to 90. So a total of Corina Vargas 231 and Rodriguez 267. So our recommendation would be Rodriguez Professional Business Solutions.
So I make a motion to go with the recommendation of Rodriguez Professional Business Solutions to administer operational.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza. And yes, I mean, Mr. Rodriguez has helped us out with our current
Yes.
OLS, and he certainly been able to bring our reimbursement back into the
And
county.
he has
So-
Jim Hogg, and he's gonna have Brooks County and Duval also.
So I think they continue.
Out of everything that we submitted for reimbursement, what percentage have we gotten back?
We had submitted over 300,000, Commissioner, and it all came back.
All of it?
Yeah.
We've been getting everything we've been submitting.
I-
Including his,
His fee.
the cost of the fee of the.
Including everything from January.
Yes, because we hadn't spent hardly anything, so I think the total, and maybe Rocky would she know? Just for the record,
We can get that
We're
info.
getting the reimbursement.
If you get for the record,
We've been getting everything.
Yeah.
Monica, can you ask Rocky just to have it for the record, how much has, she has those figures, I know I don't know the exact amount.
I said, I know we've been getting everything, we've asked for reimbursement, we've been receiving, the money.
Well, that's a good question, Commissioner, just to make sure, but, I think, we did, and of course, there's the governor's office is looking constantly at all those grants, so, from time to time, I think this week, there was a hold placed on the grant and, additional grants. I spoke with the sheriff, regarding that, so there was a problem with the reporting requirements on Operation Stone Guard. So if there's a problem with one grant, it stops all three. So, but I think you were able to take care of that, Sheriff?
Yes, we did some proactive action on taking care of the stats that needed to be.
Okay,
There were
so,
3 issues, I spoke with Mr. Banion also, and there were 3 issues between Roxy
we
and
just
Joe.
need to stay on top of those and to make sure that our reimbursements are not held up.
Right.
We'll be communicating and coming with Roxy to just be transparent and have everything organized.
Yes,
Everyone's on the same
we'll work
page.
together on that grant, which has been, I think, our county area has been very beneficial to the county in participating. It took us a while, but we're getting there.
We are. It's been bringing a lot of resources about the county that we would never been able to do that.
So, did we vote on this?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion and a second, and then, yeah, we had discussion.
Oh, okay.
So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And, okay, motion passes, Mr. Rodriguez will be awarded for, 81,000, and that is coming 100% out of the grant, right?
Correct, exactly, so,
The
yes.
this payment will also be 100% out of it. Okay. Thank you,
Right.
Monica.
This is, and these are copies. That's a lot.
Okay, so the reimbursement, Commissioner, was, yes, $329,797.75.
Thank you.
Moving on to, item number 15, is to approve payment of invoice in the amount of $32,500 to Rodriguez Professional Services for the professional administration services on Operation Lone Star. And that would be for our current year, his charges, for this, current year. I think we've already paid him two, and we got reimbursed for the previous two payments.
Motion to approve the payment of $32,500.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Gatsa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 16 is to repair the AC unit at Zapata Community Center. So, because now that I know, we spoke about it, our
Yes.
facilities director.
The one at the, south side, next to the water plant.
So it's not one of the ones we recently replaced.
No.
It's an older unit.
Yes.
We
Okay.
got
And what's the cost for it?
So we got our first two?
4,800.
So it'll be for 2,800?
48.
4,800.
And who'll be the company?
Have you found a vendor to fix
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Quick care.
Quick Care?
Quicker.
I'll make a motion to approve, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Solis to approve the repairs of the AC unit, at the community center for 4,800 to Quick Care. There a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Gatsa. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 17, to approve an interlocal agreement between the Regional Public Defender Office and the Zapata County for the fiscal year 2024-2025 biennium. Commissioners, and this is, for, capital, murder cases, and I think many of the smaller counties in the state of Texas, is kind of an insurance for us, an insurance policy. We certainly don't wanna have a capital murder trial case, but it can be very expensive. So our cost, will be, for this agreement, will be, $3,299.
For the year, Judge?
Yes, for the year, and we have an insurance policy, if in case we do have a capital murder trial here, they will absorb the cost of all the, for that the county would incur in prosecuting that case. And this is out of the Lubbock, Public Defender's Office. So this is, they're out of Lubbock. This is a regional, public defender, for capital cases, and they're out of, Lubbock, Texas. If you can see, there's, I would say, with the exception of the 4 or 5, largest counties in Texas, almost every county in Texas, is part of this insurance policy.
And we hope it never happens.
We've had it for years.
It just happened in Webb County.
Yes, it does, so yes.
It happens. Motion to approve, Judge, agreement between, Regional Public Defender Office and Zapata County.
Motion by Commissioner Solis. I guess, Mr. Figueroa, you had time, it's the same renewal we do.
Judge, I have not reviewed this year's, Judge, I haven't been given a copy, but I'm sure I'll get it, Judge.
So
It'll be
Approve it
pending, the review of
Here it
the
is,
county
Judge.
attorney.
Okay. Is there a second? By Commissioner Gatsa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 18 is to approve the dedication of streets Trinity Lane, Maru, and Evergreen for the use of public. Commissioners, I was informed, of course, these streets are, off of Alamo. I would say it's the Cueva subdivision. And for many years, the county, has invested in these streets. We actually, when we had our paving program maybe 15 years ago, we did pave all these streets, in that area. Turns out they were never formally, deeded to the county. The owner is willing to, at this time, to make it official, and so this is just basically making sure that these streets belong to the county. We had basically maintained them for all these years, but, we were informed by one of the, title policy companies that, they were not officially deeded to the county when these subdivisions, were platted.
Okay.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Morales.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Solis,
At no cost, Judge?
and no cost.
This
Yes.
would be to Bartolome Cuellar or?
Yes, so yeah, those streets off of Alamo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they run down.
going, I guess, northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 3 streets, I mean, they're really good paved streets,
Yeah.
but technically they were private properties, years ago. Okay, so, we got a motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 19 is to consider paying membership dues to the Texas Border Coalition for fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $694. Of course, the Border Coalition represents border counties on issues, in our areas. We are a member, have been a member for many years, so, it's a $694 due. Motion by Commissioner, Gatsa, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 20, to approve payment of invoice to repair damage to glass door at the San Ignacio Fire Department. I'm not sure.
$350. I'll make a motion to approve the payment of $350.
Motion by Commissioner Solis to approve the payment of $350 to Torres Glass Shop. Seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item, yeah.
Just a quick question, this one's coming from,
It comes from repairs and maintenance, of non-department, which is about $39,000 over budget, so. The AC also.
So we budget at 150,000, but there's,
Yeah.
we almost get
so
to.
now,
And, you know, I was speaking with Ms. Laura about that AC, you know, how hot it's been. Those are emergency repairs. There's no way around it, as it get it fixed. I mean, that's how.
we need those.
Yeah. So that comes out from our fund balance. We'll take that into account, how much we're spending as we move forward with the proposed budget. And see, and we'll see how much revenues are coming in from our treasury report and try to reach
Adjust those,
balance.
yeah.
trying to balance it
Yeah,
out.
try to balance. But yeah, so we're, almost at 200,000, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, one.
30 something? That's
I know we budgeted 150,000.
We're about 230.
Oh, yeah, we budgeted 200,000. Yeah, it's, there's we have a lot of buildings, a lot of repairs, or older buildings, and a lot of it is air conditioning and roofs.
Never stop.
Yes, so we need to try to keep them up. Moving on to, so we did approve that one, Mary Jane?
Yes, that's
Item number 21 is to approve payment to border pools, maintenance and supply for repairs to the Guadalupe and Lidia Martinez Cement Complex in the amount of $10,900.
On this one, Judge, we can table it, I'm looking at the invoices, I got copies of the invoices, and it shows two payments for the same amount with different invoice numbers, and then it has two payments again with different, so if I could,
Yeah, I looked at those invoices, I'd like to see more specifics, a
Yes.
bit more specific on them.
So if y'all could table it, just so I can look into it
And see was there any warranty on the motors?
Correct.
You can see exactly what kind of work was done on it.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by Commissioner Garza, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion tabled. Item number 22 is to approve the purchase of a Tiger Cat 26 horsepower Kawasaki for $12,299, a tractor canopy for $1,452.09, and a replacement engine for $2,828.95 from the certificates of obligation. Total is $16,508.04. Commissioner Morales, yes.
On that one, it's not just one tractor canopy, it's three. It's one for
Okay.
each one. It's a total,
Three tractor canopy.
$1,452. And this is from the certificate of obligations, it will not affect our.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 23 is to approve payment to Dr. Rice Home Center for a door install at the Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 office.
Then total $534.92. There's motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, yes, for $534.92. Yeah, the judge, Gaba had requested a door, and her door was, not closing well on her, in her office, so $134. Motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Gatsa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge,
Number
if I may
20.
briefly, Judge, on the interlocal agreement for the public defender, agreement, Judge, it is, exactly as you described, Judge, but it is for a one-year term with an automatic renewal for one increase.
Yeah, so
So
it's
it'll cover us through, September 30th, 2020.
And then it'll automatically renew when we send the payment, I get the $3,700, yeah.
It'd be, the 32.
$3,299.
For each year.
Okay. So,
I've signed off as the form.
so Mary Jane, so it's, the council has approved, has reviewed it.
17.
Yes.
Item number 24, to approve.
23, who did the second motion?
Garza.
Garza. Solis Garza.
Moving quickly. Item number 24, to approve the holiday calendar for fiscal year 2023-2024. I think, Commissioners, it should be close to about the same every year. Are there any changes, Ms. Nelly, on this?
The only, is the elections due to the use of the county buildings. In speaking with, Mary Jane, she did ask if we could, incorporate the November election for a holiday and the March election. So during the week of the county fair, it would be Tuesday for election day, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday would be county fair.
Okay. So that's Tuesday election. during the county fair.
And then if we have, depending on how many candidates we have, we might be looking at, the runoff. So we'll talk about it.
So how many days in total do we have? 20?
22.
22. Is that customary, I guess?
It was just that one extra day for the holiday, so usually we have 21. Oh, the
Usually have how
22.
many? 21?
21.
So we're gonna have 22, one more.
Christmas, when does that fall on?
Christmas falls on the 24th, so it's Friday and Monday that we gave it.
And then New Year's would be that Friday,
The same,
Monday too?
Friday, Monday.
Okay. Well, Commissioner, any questions on this?
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Solis as presented, to approve the holiday calendar for fiscal year 2023-2024. Seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 25 is to enroll Zapata County employees in the Texas Association of Counties Certified Cybersecurity Training Program 2023. So we're still struggling to get that going, or?
No, I hadn't been emailed that it was up for renewal. And Roxy called me, I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday, and she notified me that it was sent out. I never received it, so we have about a month to get all the employees.
So who does this apply to? All employees?
All employees.
How many more do we need?
We haven't started.
Oh.
We haven't started.
Everybody.
Yeah. I know we
We
try
do
to
it
get
every,
something
yeah,
going.
I usually get the renewal around March, and this year wasn't, I never received it.
So the training will be done here at the courthouse?
Yes, well, it's sent out via email,
Okay.
to the employees who have a county email, and, we upload it and send it, back to TAC.
You can take this online as well?
It's online.
It's online.
See, I thought we just did it, was that last year?
Yeah,
But-
it's now required to do annually, so every year we do have
Motion to approve.
to be in compliance.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Morales. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Item number 26 is to request the release of funds from the first 3 quarters allocated to the Zapata County Museum of History. I didn't know they hadn't come in.
They have brought them in, Judge, they just never brought their,
So we budgeted Commissioner 50,000, from the general fund for the museum expenses for the year. So 3 quarters of that would be, 12,000, 36,000.
12.5, 24, 25, like 37.5.
37.5. So the amount they're requesting,
They did include the financials with y'all? Y'all have copies?
yes, it's
Okay.
here. Should have their budget, their expenses, what they spent,
They have a fully formed board, Judge?
yes, they do.
Okay.
So it's 37.5 would be the amount.
They have been bringing in the invoices, and I kept, asking them to bring, the financials, and they just hadn't.
Okay.
Financials were good.
Well, I see their budget, I don't see the financials. I don't know, did they
That's all
bring their
they brought.
financials?
That's all they brought.
That's all they brought.
That's all they brought me.
Okay, well, we can, approve it pending the financials, and we'll release it when they bring the financials in.
Motion
So
to
we can do
approve
that.
pending the financials, Mary Jane?
Motion, by Cruz Solis to approve, the release of funds pending financials.
It'll be
Presented
37,500.
to our county auditor.
37,500.
Yeah, I'll make y'all aware when they bring them in.
Yeah. And seconded by Commissioner Morales? Yes, Commissioner Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 27 is to approve and accept memorandum of understanding between Zapata County and Zavala County associated with Operation Lone Star for law enforcement transport services. Sheriff, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. Judge, this is basically, for an older van that's in good condition still, and so we can use it between Zavala and Zapata County. When we gotta transport inmates, we'll meet with the parties up there, whether the inmates should be transferred to Del Rio in certain areas, Dilley and Jamal.
Or, for Operation Lone Star?
Yes.
So if they're a resident here in Zapata County and.
That way, our van doesn't have to travel all the way over there. There's a van already in Zavala that'll be used just for Operation Lone Star.
Okay.
While the other ones are working for picking up inmates for the marshals in the valley.
So these are when they get arrested, you transfer them that way?
Well, it depends where they're sent. And, this will be used by Zapata County and Zavala County and the van will be over there.
So is the county-owned van with another county?
Judge, in the MOU, when Mr. Peña submitted it to me, Judge, I suggested that it be included in the MOU that while it's being operated by Zavala County, that they must have it insured and also agree to indemnify Zapata County
Sure.
for any and all actions while they use it. So that will be included in the MOU.
Maintenance and everything, Judge, will be included. It's not, we're adding a new van to our fleet, so that will be taken off the insurance and the new one will be added.
You know, as long as that language is included. If
It
it's
wasn't
not
included in the
currently
original
here,
agreement, Judge, but it will be in the
in the
final.
final version, okay,
So
so we'll,
just,
we'll
subject
put
to-
pending his, the council review and of the final version.
Yes,
For
sir.
signature, okay?
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve pending, legals of review.
Motion by Commissioner Solis,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Asa. All those in favor say aye. Thank you, Mayor. Thanks, sir. Item number 28 is to request the use of the Zapata Community Center for a summer health and resource fair on Wednesday, August the 9th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., sponsored by Med Team and Zapata County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff, yeah, you were on deck.
Yes, it's just, back to school. It's a summer health fair with, different vendors that help out the community. And anybody here in the county that wants to show up and, get assistance from Med Team and other providers here that work here in the county.
Med Team is where are they from?
They're from, Jim Hawk.
Are there ambulance service or?
No, they, like a medical visiting team for different, residences.
Kind of like a home health?
Yeah.
So this will be open to county departments that might wanna participate?
Anybody can participate. It's open for everybody.
Yeah.
Is the date available? Have we checked on it?
It's August, 9th.
Yeah, but is it available?
Oh, that would be Ms. Benson.
Yeah, it's available.
It's available. What will be the fee for the vendors?
No, I believe it's free.
Free. Motion to approve, Judge.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Asa. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Item number 29 is to approve invoice 24609 in preparation of bacteria testing address map. Premier Engineering, what we got, was on this?
Morning, Judge. I got a invoice on some. Well, let me get close.
Es cuando lo miramos, 5,000.
Ese es un.
Mary Jane?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Morning, Suzy. Okay, I'm looking at this one.
meeting with the judge, with the sheriff. And I give you Judge and Commissioners, this item is for bacteriological sample site map. Yes, it's there on the overall map on the first page. It shows the sampling sites or the sampling areas that the County Water Works does testing on. We have the main home where it gets tested, then we have 5 homes to the north and 5 homes to the south, or upstream and downstream of the particular homes. This will comply with TCEQ requirements for, I guess, for testing. We had the addresses, but they were requesting a map so that we could see, so that we could see where everything was being done. But we previously had it by address, so the Commissioner's office provided us the addresses and we put it in a map form.
So these testing sites are in homes, like inside the properties or adjacent to the properties?
It's in homes.
So we make agreements with the homeowners, or?
We go test it on the outside of the home.
On the outside?
Yeah, on the,
Cause, so we have faucets,
Yes.
okay.
Are there any requirements that we have to post this, Mr. Gonzalez, or anything?
we just have to have it at our waterworks.
Post it at the water.
Yeah, when TCEQ comes and does visits, they can see that we have a sampling site map, and then they can either go do their own independent testing.
Well, I mean, I know it's required, I didn't know if we had agreements with the homeowners to be able to go in there and just.
Like knockers.
I guess we've been testing for
so many years,
Yeah, so
same areas, same sites.
Yeah, so that it's already been, I guess, discussed with the homeowners and they're, on these sites, I think we're over here. And if we need to adjust, because of change of ownership or something.
Is there written agreements with them or anything? Is there?
No.
And the faucets inside the lot, just go in?
Just take a sample. I mean, that's how the state does it. They go and get a random sample.
Okay.
And so they'll just, they get random sampling, they go test it, and they let us know if we're in compliance, and so far we've been pretty well. So,
That's fine, well, I mean, it's certainly
And you
upgrades
guys-
our ability to see exactly where the testing sites are, and that's what TCEQ requires, so.
Rafa, do y'all call them before y'all are paying them a visit, just show up and
No,
knock?
they've been doing it for years, they just show up and.
I understand that,
they're
but we're
outside.
living in a different world from 5 years ago, so that's why I'm asking, just to prevent maybe, any serious issues or, something from happening.
We could do courtesy calls beforehand,
Yeah,
that's.
but
They're so used to seeing the guys there, they're, out there.
I mean, if it's the same location that we've been using for years, I'm sure they're used to it, so.
They're aware that we do testing, and I mean, some of the residents, they feel good about the fact that their site is being sampled, and, if they know if the quality is a superior quality, which that's what we've been providing. So, and if it's not, then that's the site.
I'm just saying we're living in a different era from 5-10 years ago, where people are getting, a little crazy, so just gotta be careful. Yeah, just gotta be careful.
A lot of these sites are either employees, ex-employees, or family members.
Okay.
so-
Okay, that makes sense.
That explains a lot.
Thank you.
So we have an invoice for Premier Engineering Commissioners for $5,000. Motion to
I'll
approve
second it.
by Commissioner Morales, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Morales. Item number 30 is to approve an interlocal agreement for E911 public answering point services. So the 911, I guess, Sheriff, it goes through your office, as far as this agreement?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Ortiz, is gonna come and meet with us here at the office and provide the answering point services for this facility here, the
Okay.
one that we already used, and then for the upcoming facility. For the emergency.
So, okay, so this agreement is ready to go then, or do you wanna meet with him first, or?
Yeah, let me meet with him first.
Okay, all right, okay, so we'll table it.
Well, I'll make a motion to table it until discuss with
The next
Sharon.
meeting, hopefully we can.
Yes, we'll, and as soon as we have it, I'll take it to,
Mr. Figueroa,
Mr.
can.
Figueroa, and then copy to you.
Okay.
Second the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to table item number 30, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I don't see, and I didn't, number 31, which was executive session item on the border wall litigation, I don't see, Mr. Flores.
I can update the commissioners as to
Okay,
where we're
well,
at on it,
and I
Judge,
think,
and,
can we do it in open court, or do you wanna?
we can if you like, Judge.
I mean, I think.
But it's gonna be a no action.
No action, so it's just an update as to what, yeah, we can hear right now, let the public know where we're at on that. So item number 31 is an update on the border wall litigation, and Mr. Figueroa will update us, on exactly where we're at.
All right, Judge and Commissioners and to the public, the county had been involved in a dispute with the federal government and former President Trump over their intent on taking land which was essentially around where our bird sanctuary was in San Ignacio. Zapata County has been in this protracted fight with it for about, what are we looking at now, Judge?
About 3 years.
3 years, yeah, okay. 3 years, and after an elongated fight, I won't get into the complex legal issues that resulted, but Zapata County was triumphant in stopping the taking of that land for that particular section of border wall. So no county properties are to be taken, and one of the major issues was that they automatically passed waivers that automatically forced, that were done by the previous Department of Homeland Security, that essentially made all us fall under mandatory waivers of different types of environmental protection issues and things like that, we were required to waive. Well, we argued that they did not have that right to waive it without going through due process and all that. So it was just render a ruling. The federal court in the Southern District in Laredo rendered a ruling that the waivers were improperly awarded, and hence they would have had to have gone through all those processes to be able to do that. So, in a nutshell, they
rescinded those waivers for.
They rescinded those waivers, and Zapata County was successful in protecting the bird sanctuary. It's being the only successful lawsuit by any border community in the entire United States. So,
I think,
something to be proud of.
I think so,
That,
yes.
you know, that I know Zapata County has had a long history of questionable dealings with the federal government, going back to Zapata Viejo, when they essentially made an entire population relocate to another, and properties were taken for a lake. Back then, maybe Zapata County didn't have the resources to fight. Well, we did this time, and we were successful. It really is, for those that are interested, to look up in this, but it was a really real David and Goliath type of story. So it was a great job by the commissioners that said that this is something that's not right. We are, entitled to due process. They fought it, and we were successful. But the only border community that has been successful fighting that. So that's why.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa, but yes, that's all true, and certainly it was something that the court felt necessary to or obligated, I would say, to take on. Basically, we were deeded 3 acres of land there in San Ignacio, which is basically our only historic place left in our county because of what happened and there was a chance that we might even lose that history, so the court took it upon ourselves to fight, and we did. And so I certainly want to thank Mr. Carlos Flores and his law firm for really being reasonable on their charges to the taxpayers of Zapata County. We do have limited funds, but it was a protracted battle, but, in the end, the government did, pull those waivers, and we're not in any, danger of having any walls built in our county.
Right, and it would have taken all of Zapata counties or the water department's abilities inside Ignacio to reach, the actual river. So, that's why it was essential for Zapata County to fight.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rio, and, thank you, Mr. Flores. I'm sure at some point he might wanna come in
I'm sure
and
so.
explain it to us, so, so no action on item number 31, Commissioners. We'll move on to consent items 32, 33, and 34, 35. These are, line item transfers.
Judge, on this, on number 33, I think it's a typo. It says prisoner clothing, it should be prisoner transportation, because the line item is the same as the other prisoner transportation. On that very
Sorry,
first row.
prisoner transportation. Okay. So, motion by Commissioner Morales to approve line items as presented with that correction on the typo. Yeah.
I'll second the motion 32 through 35.
Seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move on to resolutions and proclamations. Item number 37 is a resolution in support of strongly urging Mexico to comply with the terms of the 1944 treaty and releases that are water due to the United States. Commissioner, Region M, which Zapata County is a part of, Region M Water Planning Board, which our region entails counties along the border from Maverick County down Webb, Zapata, Star, and then Cameron and Hidalgo, and of course, Jim Hogg and Willacy. And these regional planning groups are part of the Texas Water Development Board. They're very important in making sure that funding or communities along within those regions have the proper planning procedures to receive funding from the Water Development Board. One of the things that we do take into account and keep, I guess, an eye on the water releases that were, negotiated back in the 1944 treaty, that Mexico is obligated to release a certain amount of acreage of water rights to the county, to the basin, from their reservoirs in Mexico. And so far, this current cycle, they're 5-year cycles, and this current cycle, which began in October 25th of 2020, and we're already gonna be close to the third year of October 25th, 2023. If the releases were done in I guess, annual commitment rate, we should be close to over 1 million acre feet of water should have been released into the water system of the Amistad and Falcon. So far, for these 3 years, only 357,526 acre feet have been released up to now. So they're almost 2/3 below what they should. And of course, Mexico is not obligated under the treaty to make timely releases, even though the United States does that on the Colorado River in Arizona. They sometimes wait till the last minute. Sometimes they wait for a hurricane to come in and say, here, U.S., here's your water. This last current cycle, which ended up in 2020, they basically were not in compliance, and they basically had some water stored in the Falcon Reservoir, and they basically just deeded that water to the county. To the United States. They didn't release any new water into the system, so it's troubling. And we see our lake levels, but a lot of it is that we do not get timely releases. Of course, the valley, which is the primary beneficiary of the water and the water users, they are very concerned about not these timely releases, and they would like to maybe apply some pressure from the federal government to the Mexican government and see if they can release them some water into our system.
Are we joining in with other border communities, Judge?
So this is the Region M. So it's Maverick County, Webb, Zapata, Star, Hidalgo, Cameron, Willacy, and Jim Hogg County is part of the Region M water. And they want a resolution from each member county to I guess, bring some awareness and pressure to our State Department to see if we can, if they can pressure Mexico into releasing some additional waters from their Mexican reservoirs. So, So this is what this is, Commissioners. I don't know if the resolution is in the packet, we can read it out if it
Yes, sir,
is.
it is.
It is? We can read it out, I'll go ahead and read it out. Whereas the Rio Grande is the only source of fresh water for the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, and whereas the Rio Grande flows are greatly dependent on inflows from Mexican tributaries that flow into the Rio Grande above Amistad and Falcon reservoirs, and whereas the 1944 treaty between the United States and Mexico allows the United States 1/3 of the tributary inflow from the 6 named tributaries that flow into the Rio Grande above the international reservoirs, and this 1/3 shall not be less than 350,000 acre feet as annual average over a cycle of 5 consecutive years, and whereas the only exception to the annual delivery of this water is if Mexico is experiencing extraordinary drought or has experienced serious accident to the hydraulic system on the 6 named tributaries, and whereas Mexico has accumulated over 2.9 million acre feet of water in the reservoirs on these 6 named tributaries since August 2022, and is an indication that Mexico is not in an extraordinary drought, and there have been no reports of any accidents to their hydraulic system, and whereas the current 5-year treaty delivery cycle commenced October 25th, 2020, and Mexico is behind in their deliveries to the United States by over 550,000 acre feet of water, and where the United States ownership of water in the Amistad Falcon Reservoir is slightly less than 1 year's supply of water, and whereas Mexico has sufficient water in storage in the tributaries that the United States is entitled to receive water from, and could release this water as called for by the 1944 treaty. Now therefore be resolved that Zapata County strongly urges Mexico to comply with the terms of the 1944 treaty and release the water due to the United States. So I think it's spot on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a motion, Commissioner.
Motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we're done in time, Commissioners. Your signature page in that? Yeah. Great.
That's what you.
Yes, there's a lot of water that's missing from the system, and they tend to keep it in their reservoirs.
If we do get all this water, is there any way we can dredge under the bridge to get more water?
Yeah, it's something that the federal government would have to undertake, but if.
I'm pretty sure it's like really.
Yeah, increase the storage of it would be something that would be very helpful. Move on to another resolution, is to approve a resolution in support of Operation Stone Garden for fiscal year 2022. Is this 2023 or?
No, 22, Judge.
22?
One's a year behind.
Okay. So, is there a motion to shut up the resolution, sir, also? Are they gonna read it? Yeah, I can read it. Commissioners Court of Zapata County, Texas resolution. Resolution in support of Operation Stone Garden, fiscal year 2022. Whereas the Zapata County Commissioners Court finds it in the best interest of the citizens of Zapata County that the Operation Stone Garden be operated for fiscal year 22, and whereas Zapata County Commissioners Court agrees to provide applicable matching funds for the said project as required by the Office of the Governor grant application, and whereas the Zapata County Commissioners Court agrees that in the event of loss or misuse of office of the Governor's funds, the Zapata County Commissioners Court assures that these funds will be returned to the Office of the Governor in full. Whereas the Zapata County Commissioners Court designates the county judge as the grantee's authorized official. The authorized official is given the power to apply for, accept, to reject, alter, or terminate the grant on behalf of the applicant agency. Now therefore be resolved that the Commissioners Court of Zapata County approves submission of the grant application for Operation Stone Garden to the Office of the Governor. So this has been a very good grant for your department,
Yes.
Sheriff, over the years, and
We'll be adding 2 other patrol units, digital radios, and more overtime.
overtime for your deputies.
Judge, I make make a motion to approve resolution in support of, Operation Stone Garden for fiscal year 2022.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I think there's,
They're here, the only thing is, it has Pete Morales, doesn't matter, or you want to change it to Pedro? And then we can sign it later.
No, it's,
I can just sign Pedro,
Yes.
even though it's not.
you can correct it in the bottom, Commissioner, sign your name the way you
I
normally
will.
sign it, then just, initial it.
I don't know if that's the correct one to sign, because it has the dollar amount in the bottom, and, does it matter, Sheriff?
No,
There
sir.
was one, yeah. It's there.
Oh, it did?
And the other one too.
I did, okay. Phone numbers and what has the grant, front office,
This
does
is
it matter
what-
to have some additional
No,
information on
no,
it?
that's,
That-
it's, we use the template from the,
Okay.
from the previous year.
That's fine. I guess during this, we're talking about grants, funding, Senate Bill 22, we've been reading up on that one, that the legislature passed this session.
Yes.
I think that won't come into play until next year's budget. We were hoping, to include it in this year's budget, but the way the funding cycle is, enacted, it has to be January 1st. If our fiscal year begins, January 1st, this, we would be eligible, but since we start October 1st, so we won't be able to apply for that grant till next year. And certainly that would set minimum salaries for detention officers, patrol deputies, and sheriffs, and then constables, if the county, of course, applies matching, 75% matching funds to it, which we are there with the deputies, very close with the detention officers, so I think the constables would be the only ones that, but constables would be required to make patrol stops. I don't know if they're doing that as of now. They'd have to provide, records of being able to qualify as making patrol stops.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Judge, we're still gonna submit all the paperwork and apply, for everything on a timely manner for the grant. Because there's been some talks that it might come September 1st.
It might be retroactive?
Yes.
We, that question was brought up at our last week's conference or the week before, and so I guess our experts say that basically, unless your fiscal year, begins January 1st, you have 30 days from the start of your fiscal year, to apply for the grant. So we would have to apply from October 1st of next year, because the actual grant begins January 1st, 2024. So that's the catch there, Sheriff,
Okay.
the reason we might not be able to apply for it this year.
All right.
We'll move on to the resolution number 39, is to approve resolution in support of the Rifle Resistant Body Armor Grant Program, fiscal year 2024. And last page, so we have the body armor grant and Commissioners Court, Zapata County, Texas, resolution in support of the Rifle Resistant Body Armor Grant Program, fiscal year 2024, whereas the Zapata Commissioners Court finds it in the best interest of the citizens of Zapata County that the Rifle Resistant Body Armor Grant Program should be operated for the fiscal year 24, and whereas Zapata County Commissioners Court agrees to provide applicable matching funds for the said project as required by the Office of the Governor grant application, and whereas the Zapata County Commissioners Court agrees that in the event of loss or misuse of Office of the Governor's funds, the Zapata County Commissioners Court assures that the funds will be returned to the offices of the Governor in full. Whereas the Zapata County Commissioners Court designates the county judge as the grantee's authorized official. The authorized official is given the power to apply for, accept, reject, alter, or terminate the grant on behalf of the applicant agency. Now therefore be resolved that the Commissioners Court of Zapata approve submission of the grant application for the Rifle Resistant Body Armor Grant to the Office of the Governor. So that's certainly another good grant.
Yes.
How much is that for?
150,000. The thing is, those vests have a span life of a few years, Judge.
Yes.
We gotta replace it.
Right, of course.
It's
Sheriff,
how much
190,
weight does
right?
that add, Sheriff, to the?
It's about, 4.5 to 5 pounds.
Only,
Yes.
for that additional security.
Are they under or outer carrier?
Excuse me?
Under or outer?
Outer carry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for a long rifle, 223 and up.
And it's 190,000, right?
150.
Oh, okay, 'cause on the paper it says 190.
Up to what kid stop, Sheriff, you know?
No, up to, they have said up to a 308. Now, there's some handguns that are 50 cal that we can.
And are they mandatory to wear?
There's not much they
Sheriff?
can stop that.
Sheriff, do you have it mandatory for them to wear?
Yes, it's mandatory for every officer to have the rifle resistant vest. They have the option to wear the soft one or wear the rifle resistant.
As long as they're wearing some kind of protection?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to approve, Judge, a resolution in support of rifle resistant body armor grant, also known as BAGP, for fiscal year 2024.
motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge-
That's it, Commissioner?
Judge, well,
Yeah.
on, consent item number 35. I noticed- 35, I noticed there were, the line items only had 3 digits, they're supposed to have 5. So, if, Commissioner Morales could, amend his motion to reflect the from to be 10-665-42610, and 2 would be 10-665-43580. Those would be the correct, line items.
Yeah, this new software program really turning.
Yeah,
everything
it'll be
into-
better in October.
Consent item is gonna move from, 10-010-665-310 to 10-665-42610.
Correct.
A total of $200, and then 2-01-665-43580.
Correct.
Yeah, so from officer supplies to workshop and travel.
Yes.
Yeah, our expense agent said he needs to, trying to move some money around.
Motion to adjourn, Judge?
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Morales. We are now adjourned. Commissioner.